right. A gump goodness. I decided not to do a full gump report. I decided to do a short 6 to 8 minute video of gump goodness because there is no way there's not going to be more details to this. And talking about at least 10, 20, or 30 minutes when it's still so early. It's been 5 days. So it's still roughly about 5 days since this happened. And I'm like, dude, let me just do the video, my general thoughts on what happened to Roger Jackson and Syko Stu. Let me give it to you if you don't know what has happened. I'm sure many people watching this already know, but just in case you don't. On Saturday, Rampage Jackson's son, Roger Jackson, who is an MMA fighter, who is not fighting right now, he's off from fighting because of possible concussion. That's also been mentioned. He currently was going to an independent promotion. I don't remember the name of it right now. But he went to this independent promotion, I believe, with a friend and another person who was filming him. A wrestler named Syko Stu, who is a former military soldier. He thought, and this is what we got so far, he thought that he was supposed to be doing a bit. So when the situation came up and he got into Rampage Jackson's son's face, he hit him in the head with a beer can. Not a beer bottle, but a beer can. And then Roger was livid. He was pissed. But when Stu found out that this wasn't a bit, because Roger was with a friend, and another person with a camera. So Stu mistakenly, which is understandable if you don't know, when a camera is on in a wrestling promotion, they may expect you to do it immediately without any prep, without anything. You should sometimes be spontaneous to make it look good. That happens in pro wrestling. But when he found out that this wasn't a bit, he went up to Raja. He shook his hand. He said, "I'm sorry. I thought that this was a bit. I thought that you were going to be doing something. I apologize." He literally apologized. He shook his hand. He said he was sorry. He didn't realize that this wasn't something that he's supposed to be doing right now. So Roger looked like he took the apology, and his friend, the one who was filming, and Syko Stu were talking, and another person came in, I don't know who he is, another wrestler, said, "Okay, because this happened, we're so sorry, do you want to come in and do a bit with us? Because that's what we thought was going to happen." So Roger said, okay, this, you're going to let me do a bit with you? He says, "Yeah, to make up for it, and you can hit me to make up for it. This wasn't on purpose, but in pro wrestling, we do things like this. We do bits. We can't fight to a certain extent." He didn't say a flat-out brawl, but he said, we do punches and stuff. So they were setting up the bit. It was later in the night, several hours later. They're doing the show. Syko Stu is in the ring with somebody, and Rampage Jackson's son, who was waiting, finally was told, "Hey, get ready. You're going to jump into the ring. You're going to grab Stu. You're going to do a body slam on him, and then you can take a hit." So when that moment came, Roger jumps into the ring. About to get Rampage Rogers mixed up, sorry. But he jumps into the ring, but instead of just doing throwing him backwards, or just maybe doing a slam like a wrestler would do, or even MMA, not too hard. No. Fuck no. Raja decided, I'm going to go full MMA on his ass. He grabs him. He does a full slam, which looks like it knocked him out completely because he hit his head on the mat very hard. And then he was on top of him, full contact wailing, makes his face bleed. And not only could the ref not stop him, because eventually the ref realized he wasn't playing around, because, of course, you got to make it look good, do some hits. But when he saw that Stu was out and Roger was hitting him really hard, he tried to stop him. It didn't work. Then another wrestler got into the ring to try and stop him. He was ready to brawl with him, so not only one wrestler who grabbed him to try and stop him, it was multiple wrestlers after that trying to get him to stop. Eventually they stopped, and then they had to call an ambulance. After that, and understand, this was all seen on Kick. This was live streamed on Kick. The guy who was filming, I thought was filming, no. He was live streaming it on Kick. So after all that happened and Raja left where the wrestling was, and they were talking about, dude, what were you doing? What were you thinking? Why did you go that far? Raja was ready to fight with other wrestlers. It was the guy who was with the camera, who was filming for Kick, telling him, calm down, stop. And you could tell 100% three things in my perspective. And this is my thoughts. This is the basic what I said, but this is my thoughts. The first one, when Raja had been hit in the head with the beer can and Syko Stu apologized, I could see in his face, while he's being talked, there was a certain look in his face like, motherfucker, I don't give a damn what you say right now. I'm going to whoop your ass. That was the first thing for me. The second was while the match was going on later in the night, he's talking, and the guy that he's filming, well, not filming, but live streaming on Kick, Roger was being told, when you get in the ring, you can hit him a couple of times, and the guy that was live streaming it heard him, well, recorded. Everything that's live streamed, just like on Kick and Twitch, it's recorded. Unless you VOD it, don't VOD it. It's there just like anything else that's been live streamed. It's always going to be recorded. Kick is going to record it, and Twitch records. Whether you delete the VOD doesn't matter. It's always backed up. And he literally says openly, oh, I'm going to get to hit this guy, or I'm going to whoop that ass. And he said, I hope he tries to hit me back because I want to hurt him. And then when it was all over, he's out in the street with the guy who is doing the live stream for him on camera. He says, I don't play that shit. I don't play none of that shit. He's screaming at the top of his lungs. He's not acting like, oh, I didn't know what I was doing. I made a mistake. No. He still had a grudge from when he got hit in the head with that beer can. Now, mind you, there's a lot more I could talk about, but I'm going to leave it here because there's still information coming out. What was just released on at least NoDQ.com. I think NoDQ.com has this, and one other site that I saw also had this, that the LAPD is now going to question everyone there. So Roger Jackson is in trouble, and even with Rampage trying to make a comment on his ex, ain't gonna save his son. His son is in trouble right now. We just don't know how bad it is. That's why I'm only doing a Gump Goodness, so at least it'll give us an idea of what we're going to be dealing with later. But it's just me. Peace.